Yo, what's up, guys? Got a new BiS list for you today. We are doing the unironic blood DPS build. Um, yes, this is a meme spec, 1000%, but I wouldn't be making this if I wasn't just gonna, be a little bit hopeful myself. Look, I'm a DK main. I think it would be hilarious. I think it would be amazing if blood just is suddenly really good in Classic Wrath because of some weird interaction with Dancing Rune Weapon that we never really knew how it was supposed to work, or maybe there's like some weird scripting with bloodworms that they get some random buff because right now they're doing like no damage in the beta. Anyway, I digress. Today we're bringing you blood DPS pre-raid and phase 1 BiS if you end up going that route. Um let's not get into the nitty-gritty whether you should or shouldn't. Let's just talk about the BiS list, shall we? All right, so nothing too surprising here. If you look at this BiS list and you compare it to other DK BiS lists, it's basically identical in a lot of ways. But we will first jump into the talents, as we always do. These are the glyphs you'll be running in Phase 1. These will be changing throughout the expansion, but these are what we're suggesting for Phase 1 Blood DK DPS. We're also going Unholy Subspec, in case you haven't noticed. We're going 2 out of 3 in Morb, which is great. And as you can see here in Blood, there is 1 point of flexibility. This 1 point instead of Blood. You can move this anywhere. You can go Rune Tap, you can go Mark of Blood, you can go Vamp Blood. I prefer Sin of Blood because I feel like it has random moments where it actually procs, giving you a little bit of runic power, but completely up to you. But the build is pretty straightforward, and the BiS list goes as follows. Spike Titan Steel Helm being an incredible helm slot for you. You can use this for an extremely long time in Phase 1. Neck piece, we're going with Gold Amulet of the Kings. Now, the thing about Blood DPS is it gets a lot from Strength and Crit. We're really looking for a lot of Strength and Crit here with this setup. Obviously, we want some Armor Pin too, because Blood DPS has so much physical built into its kit. But things like Haste, we're kind of trying to avoid, just FYI, for this build. So we're going with Gold Amulet of the Kings. Alternative options, if you aren't able to get this in time, could potentially be the this neck here from Emblem of Heroism, or even the Titanium Impact Choker. And keep in mind, these EP values, just like with every BiS list that we've put out, are placeholder values. These are not real values that you need to rely on. These are placeholder values. Okay, so your BiS cloak is going to be Cloak of Bloodied Waters. Again, incredible cloak here. And we're going with Tier Chest. Of course, it says it comes from Naxxramas. I get a lot of comments about this. These tier chests and gloves come from Emblem of Heroism as well. You just collect enough Emblem of Heroism, you can purchase this tier token from the vendor. We're going with Vengeance Bindings. These wrists are just absolutely incredible and super good. We're going with Titan Steel Destroyer. Obviously, if you don't have the gold to get this crafted, I'll recommend you go Colossal Skullclad Cleaver from Halls of Lightning Heroic on the last boss. But Titan Steel Destroyer is really good and hard to replace because it has so much hit. We're going with tier gloves just like we would with tier chest. As for belt, there's a couple options, but the best one or the most preferred is definitely going to be the one from Emblem of Heroism, the leather one with agility, crit, expertise. This gets us a good amount of expertise, which we're just kind of missing in our pre-raid setup. Our best legs are going to be staggering leg plates here, coming from Utgard Keep Heroic. Wonderful leg piece with tons of hit on it. Our boots, we're going with Death Inured Sabatons. As always, as these are incredible. They come from Knights of the Ebon Blade Exalted. Shout out to the Obliterator Greaves being pretty decent as well, but they come from Violet Hold, which are pretty hard to obtain. Our best ring is definitely going to be Ring of the Kirin Tor. Now, this is 8.5k gold, and if you're not looking to spend 8.5k gold on a ring that you're just going to replace fairly quickly, I would recommend something like Ring of Scarlet Shadows. Ring of Scarlet Shadows is pretty decent, gives you some good hit. As well as even Hemorrhaging Circle, kind of being an agility counterpart to the strength, stamina, expertise ring of the Kirin Tor. Totally up to you. Even another option could be Titanium Impact Band. As for second ring, we like to go with Band of the Frosted Thorns here. This ring is really good on any DK spec. It's just actually particularly good on Blood DK because we're looking to stack, again, Strength and Crit as much as we can. And so it's just a phenomenal ring here. But as you can see, there's lots of options for rings. Our best trinkets are definitely going to be Mirror of Truth and Greatness. I will give a quick shout out to Red Sphere of the Dragon's Blood. This is pretty decent on Blood DK as we do kind of want some hit. So if you need hit there, you can get it there. And of course, as always, you can go for Meteorite Whetstone as an additional trinket if you need that too. Our best trinkets are definitely going to be Mirror of Truth and Greatness. Our best sigil is going to be Sigil of Haunted Dreams. This is the Emblem of Heroism sigil, causing your blood strikes and heart strikes to have a chance to grant you some crit. Pretty solid and should have really good uptime thanks to using so many heart strikes in your rotation as a worm DK. Now let's go into the phase 1 BiS, full BiS. Pretty fun setup here, a little different than most DK setups, so we will go through each one individually. Of course, we're starting with Obsidian Great Helm. This is just a really good headpiece for us. It's the best in the whole phase. It's not even close. And of course, we're going with the EOE quest neck. Now, if you are playing Blood DK DPS, you can pretty much expect to not receive this item as it's highly contested, and you are literally intentionally playing a meme spec. You need to purchase it in a GDKP or be literally the loot master in your guild if you want to obtain this. Some potential other options would be like Collar of Disillusion from Nax 10 off of a noob. I really like Fool's Trial here, but I also like just the 10-man version of the same neck, which would be a lot easier to obtain. So lots of options here for neck. We're going to go with tier shoulders. Then we do want to pick up the tier 2 piece, as the tier 2 piece is decent for us, so we will pick that up. And we're going to maintain it by holding shoulders and gloves. Now your best cloak is going to be Drape of the Deadly Foe, although massive shout out to Cloak of the Bloodied Waters actually being your phase 2 BiS, potentially even better than Drape of the Deadly Foe, just because of how much crit and strength that it has on it. Now, Breastplate of Frozen Pain is going to be your best in slot chest. Now, nobody should need this. Nobody. So when you see this drop off Saffron, it usually gets disenchanted. So you should be able to pick this up no problem because nobody has it as their BiS. Bracers of Unrelenting Attack are going to be your best in slot bracers, but these are highly contested, so good luck. And of course, your best in slot weapon is going to be Betrayer of Humanity. Now, a quick shout out to Jawbone and Deathspite, as Jawbone and Deathspite are actually pretty decent weapons to hold you over until you get Betrayer of Humanity. And a huge bait weapon would be a weapon like Armageddon. Armageddon is actually pretty crappy, so do not fall prey to Armageddon. Even though it is massive and looks cool, it's actually not very good. Of course, like I said earlier, we're going with tier gloves here. Just, you know, hit, crit, and strength. Phenomenal slot piece for us to hold us over for the 2-piece set bonus. However, all 3 of these other gloves that you can see here on this list are phenomenal. Frosted Android is great. It's just highly contested. Zeliux is really good, not too contested, and it's BOE if you wanted to purchase it. And even crude discolored battle grips are going to be really solid too, and nobody should need these at all. However, we do need to maintain 2-piece tier at somewhere, somehow, and this is going to be the best way to do it. Now for belt, we're definitely going with Girdle or Vesuvius. We do need some more expertise, and this comes with crit alongside it. The hit haste belt from Girdle of Chivalry is decent, but again, like, we're just going to be more optimal if we go with Girdle or Vesuvius with our blood DKs. Now our pants, we are uniquely running leg plates of double strikes. Now it's possible that maybe some warriors or frost DKs are also going to want these, but they aren't on anyone's BiS list. You are the only one who actually have these down as your BiS. So if you can get your hands on them, it should be pretty straightforward to go straight to the blood DK, even though you are memeing. Now, Melancholy Sabatons, these are going to be pretty hard to obtain, if I'm being perfectly clear. They're 226 eye level coming from EOE 25. These are going to be pretty high prioritized to your Frost DKs and Warrior DPS. However, if you can get your hands on this or purchase it, then they are a massive upgrade for you. These are really, really good, and you'll probably use these all the way until TOGC. That's how good they are. Your rings, we're going to go with Ruthlessness and Great Ring of Collision. Now, these are great rings. I will give a quick shout out to Surge Needle Ring being a great hit ring if you needed some hit along the way, or even Ring of the Kirin Tor just holding you over for expertise until you get Ruthlessness, but you will see a lot of Ruthlessness along the way. Great Ring of Collision is really like the hard ring to obtain as it comes from OS 2D, and a lot of people kind of want this ring, so it's a little contested. Now, Grimtoll is definitely going to be your best in slot trinket along with Greatness. Now, Grimtoll is highly contested, but it is phenomenal for Blood DK, as we love that armor pin proc, and that hit rating gets us a ton of hit rating, which helps us build out this BiS list completely. So this is a big, big piece for you. As soon as you can get a Grimtoll, please get your hands on it if you were unironically playing Blood DPS. And lastly, Sigil of Awareness is definitely going to be our highest upgrade for Sigil in terms of DPS. And that's it. Not too long. Don't want to drag this one out any longer. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will have more BiS lists coming out. I've been really enjoying making them, and I really appreciate the support. Please, if you guys can, just like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, literally anything. I never say this, but truthfully, like, it helps me a lot. It genuinely does. You'll never see how it helps me, but it does. It's all on the back end with YouTube stuff. Seriously, it helps me so much. And thank you so much for the support. I need to give a huge shout out to my boy DPS, who helped build these BiS lists for me, as he was a raider of mine, that an officer of mine in a guild that we played together in back on a private server. And he unironically played Blood DPS, and so he was able to help push these lists and actually test them in game and form them in his own experience. And so these are coming from a pretty reliable source. This guy was pumping, and as much as I'd like to clown on Blood DPS, he did okay on some fights, truthfully, and that was on Warmain synergy scripting. So we'll see what class it gives us in terms of Blood DPS, but I would love to see it work out. Anyway, again, thanks so much for watching. Love you guys so much. Peace.